We're pleased to announce the release of Sage 100 Contractor version 2026.1. This video explains the enhancements and new features. After completing this video, you'll know how to create custom job statuses to assign to your jobs, and you'll be able to use the bulk documentation feature to email and print invoices, reports, and other documents to stakeholders on your projects and services. In the 3-5 Jobs window, you assign a job status to your projects. The status lets you group and report on projects, and the status also affects messaging during job activities. For example, if you select a job with a completed status on a purchase order, you'll see a warning that reminds you of the job status. You can now customize the list of statuses to suit your business. To do this, next to the job status, select the View Add Records button. You'll see the default list of statuses provided by the system. Each status has a name, which you can modify, and a system job status, which is one of the original 6 statuses. Each status you modify or add must align to one of these system statuses, as Sage 100 Contractor continues to check the status of the job as you process records. Let's imagine that you need to view jobs whose work has been completed, but for which sub-invoices are still being processed, and the client has not made final payments or released retainage. We want to make room in between statuses 4 and 5, so first we'll move the existing statuses down. Then, we'll add a new status, 5, Work Complete, and assign it the system status 4, Current. This allows the accounting team to continue processing job records while removing it from the current group. We'll change the name of the current status to In Progress and leave it assigned to 4, Current. The reports provided with the software will work with any custom statuses you add. If you have customized reports that include the job status field, you might need to modify them to use the status name rather than the system job status. You can delete any custom statuses that have not already been assigned to a job. Select Save to close the window. You can now send invoices and other reports to multiple recipients at a time, using the bulk document distribution window. This option is available for client receivable invoices and credits, and vendor purchase orders, subcontracts, and lien waivers. We'll start by going to 3-2 Receivable Invoices and Credits, and clicking Print. You'll see a new button, Send Multiple Documents. This window shows all receivable invoices and credit distributions, and you can select the ones to send. Before now, you had to send documents individually, but now you can send multiple documents with a single action. Each recipient receives only the documents pertinent to that client or project. If the job has a primary email address associated with it, you'll see that in the Email To column. If the job does not have an email but the client does, the client's email is used here. You can click in any of the email columns, or select Options, Edit Selected Line, Edit Recipients, to add the Email To, CC, or BCC addresses. You can also use the lookup buttons to select any recipient email associated with the job or the client contacts. Add additional email addresses here by separating them with a semicolon. Once you add them here, the addresses are preserved for any future mailings. For documents that don't have an Email To address, you can still print them for regular mail. To create the content of the email message, select either the email subject or email message boxes. Or you can select Options, Edit Selected Line, Edit Detail. From here, you can edit the subject and the content. Click Insert a Field to customize the subject, message, or report attachment names. For example, you could include the invoice number in the subject, so each recipient sees the invoice number they're receiving. You could also add the job, client PO number, or any other information in the subject or body of the message, or the report's file name. Enter the text and fields you want to include in the body of the message, as well as of the file name of the PDF of the record being attached. When you've completed the email setup, you can select Save as Report Default if you want to reuse the email you've just set up. Then, select Update All Recipients to use this setup for all documents with the same client, or update this recipient to change only the email for this document. Back in the distribution window, select Save Sent Document as an attachment to the invoice record if you want a PDF to be attached to the record. This is convenient for any future communications. You can also select Send a BCC to the email from address if you want to keep a record of the email. The email from address appears in the lower right area of the window. Select Email Settings to configure Outlook or SMTP email settings. If you use Twilio as your email provider, you'll just need to enter the From name and a Reply To email address. Select Request a read receipt for this message to be notified when recipients open the email, and set a priority for the email. If files have already been attached to the record, you can include them by selecting Options, Edit Selected Line, Edit Attachments. Select Include Job Attachments to attach files related to the overall job. In the upper right, you can select Refresh to update the window for any additions since you opened it. Select Drill Down to go to the specific document selected, or select Preview Report to review the documents before sending them. Once you've completed filling out this window, select one of the buttons. Print sends all documents to the printer. Email and Print non-email only sends an email to any recipients with an Email To address and sends the remainder to the printer. Email and Print All sends emails to any recipients with an Email To address and sends all of the documents to the printer, so you'll have a hard copy of any of the emails sent. Email sends emails to recipients with an Email To address and does nothing with the others. Once you've processed the documents, you can see the last printed and last emailed dates, as well as the Sent From and Sent To information. If you elect to email a document again, a message tells you that you've already emailed that particular document, but you can send it again anyway. You'll see the same bulk document distribution functionality in many other areas of the system, and it works for the reports provided with the system, as well as any custom reports you've created. For example, in 11.2 work orders, once all technicians have completed their work and generated invoices for the day, you can open work orders, select Print, and send all of the invoices at once to the clients. The columns you see in the document distribution window differ according to the type of record you're working with. For example, in 3-4 statements, if you select Calculate Finance Charges before opening the bulk distribution window, you'll see a column for the finance charge associated with the statement, and you can select Cancel Finance Charges to eliminate the finance charge when you send the statement. In 432 Pay Vendors, select Print Lien Waivers to use bulk distribution of lien waivers. Other records with which the distribution feature is particularly helpful are 319 Accounts Receivable Overdue Reminders, 11111 Overdue Service Reminders, 661 Purchase Orders, 671 Subcontracts, and more. Once you've sent records through the document distribution window, they appear in the document history window. We'll open 3-5 jobs. Go to a job and select Options, Document Distribution History to see them listed. When you send service receivable documents through this method, you'll see the documents listed in 3-6 receivable clients. In Options, Document Distribution History. When you send lien waivers, purchase orders, and subcontracts, you'll see the documents in 4.4 Document Distribution History. The project status and bulk document distribution enhancements have been added based on customer suggestions. Thank you for your feedback. Go to Home and Resources, submit product idea to help shape Sage 100 Contractor for your business. In this video, you learned how to create custom job statuses to assign to your jobs, and you'll be able to use the bulk documentation feature to email and print invoices, reports, and other documents to stakeholders on your projects.